A year has passed. You've made no progress. Same habits, same struggles, same excuses. Terrifying, isn't it? At this point, even your Netflix recommendations have evolved more than you. Because here's the truth. If you're not reinventing yourself, you're recycling your failures. Growth isn't about adding more motivational quotes to your Instagram bio. It's about burning away what's weak, like a fallen warrior's shield in the flames of his last battle. And Vikings? They didn't do self-help books. They burned what didn't serve them and rebuilt stronger. If a man was weak, he either hardened himself or got left behind like last year's New Year's resolutions. And no one embodies this brutal transformation better than Thorfinn from Vinland Saga. Thorfinn went from anger and vengeance to discipline, forging himself like a Viking with fire and steel. Broken by war and loss, he had to rebuild or be destroyed. Since therapy wasn't an option in medieval Scandinavia, he figured it out the hard way. Strength wasn't about swinging a sword harder. It was about becoming the kind of man who doesn't need one. Today, we're diving into the Viking Phoenix Method, a battle-tested, no-nonsense, absolutely zero manifesting way to burn away your weaknesses and reinvent yourself from the ashes. If you're tired of reliving the same failures on repeat, stick around, because we're about to burn your weak self to the ground, Viking style. The first fire, killing the victim mindset. Ever met someone who acts like their life is just a series of unfortunate events? Oh, I can't change. My past was too hard. I'll never get ahead. The system's out to get me. The same old sad song. This is the victim mentality, and it's the first thing that needs to go up in flames. Dr. Martin Seligman, a bigwig in positive psychology, found that people with this mindset fall into learned helplessness. In simple terms, they've trained themselves to believe they have no power over their own lives. The truth is, you're not stuck. You just think you are. Let's talk about Thorfinn, our favorite Viking anti-hero. After losing his thirst for vengeance, Thorfinn falls into a deep funk, mentally and physically. He becomes a slave, literally chained to another man's will, unable to even hold on to his own sense of purpose. Life had him, right? Well, until he realized something. He was the one who had to change. Once he embraced responsibility for his future, he burned away his victim mindset and became a stoic badass. The same goes for you. If you're stuck in a soul-sucking job or always procrastinating, no one's coming to rescue you. Grab your metaphorical axe and start chopping away at what holds you back. The moment you stop blaming others and take responsibility, you start taking back control of your life. And trust me, that feels way better than a Netflix pity party. Action step. Next time you catch yourself playing the victim card, say, "It's my fault," and that's a good thing. It flips your perspective from victim to victor. It puts the power back in your hands. Because here's the secret. If it's your fault, you can fix it. Burn away weak habits before they burn you. Habits are the invisible force that shape your life. The difference between a warrior and a peasant? No, it's not just the armor or the cool battle scars, it's the habits that guide them. Duke University did a study that found 40% of your daily actions are habits. 40%. That's like saying almost half your life is on autopilot. Weak habits keep you weak. It's like trying to build a house with a hammer that's too small to even hit a nail. It's not going to let you get far. Now, let's talk about Thorfinn. This guy didn't wake up one day and magically turn into a disciplined, stoic Viking. Nope. He trained. He practiced restraint. He controlled his anger like a pro, which, considering how much he had to be angry about, was seriously impressive. Thorfinn's change came from building strong habits. He didn't just wake up and decide, "Hey, I'll stop throwing tantrums today." No, he worked on it every day. Like you work on a new game where the stakes are your future self. You want to kill your weak self? Simple. Find one toxic habit that's holding you back, whether it's mindlessly scrolling through social media, eating junk food like it's your job, or listening to that little voice in your head that's constantly saying, "You can't do this." Now, here's the fun part. Cut that habit out like it's the villain in a bad movie. Chop it down. If you don't, it'll keep creeping back, strangling your potential like a sneaky weed in a garden. Action step. Pick one weak habit, just one. Replace it with something strong. Maybe it's replacing, "I'll just watch one more episode," with, "I'll read a chapter of a book instead." Every time that weak habit calls your name, like a siren on a rocky shore, train yourself to swim in a different direction. That's how warriors are made, one habit at a time. The death of comfort, the birth of strength. Comfort is a slow, deadly poison. It's like that cozy blanket that feels so good until you realize you're wrapped up in a trap. Here's the science. Dr. Andrew Huberman, a neuroscientist at Stanford, has research that shows pushing through discomfort rewires your brain to be more resilient. It's like leveling up in a video game. Sure, it's hard at first, but after enough grind, you come out stronger, maybe even with a sweet new skill, like patience or grit. Let's talk about Thorfinn again. He could have stayed in his cozy, self-pitying rut after losing his revenge goal, but no, he chose hardship. He embraced the struggle. Thorfinn faced slavery, war, and constant pain, but instead of breaking him, it forged him into something unbreakable, like a sword that gets stronger every time it's hammered in the fire. Thorfinn used his discomfort as a furnace for his growth. Now, let's be real. Most people will do anything to avoid discomfort. They'll take the easy path, binge watch Netflix, and wonder why their life feels like it's missing something. Here's the catch. Growth doesn't happen in the comfort zone. It happens when you step outside, squint at the sun, and take that first terrifying step into the unknown. Action step. Do something hard every day. Maybe it's stepping into that cold shower, or maybe it's confronting that uncomfortable task you've been avoiding for months. You're basically turning suffering into your personal training ground. Embrace the discomfort. It's the secret to building the mental and physical strength you're after. Discomfort builds resilience. The Viking code: discipline over emotion. Your feelings don't care about your future. Seriously. They're like that friend who keeps talking about what they feel like doing, but never actually gets anything done. They're not going to help you reach your goals. Discipline isn't about motivation. Motivation is like that burst of energy you get after a great cup of coffee. It's awesome for about 20 minutes. Discipline is about doing what needs to be done, whether you feel like it or not. Weak people wait until they feel like doing the hard things. Strong people do them regardless. Take Thorfinn. Young Thorfinn was all about emotions. Revenge, anger, the thrill of the fight. His decisions? Totally driven by his feelings. But older Thorfinn? A whole different beast. He eventually traded emotion for discipline. He didn't follow his feelings anymore. He followed his principles. That's why he became strong, wise, and unstoppable. Let's be honest. You've been there. You don't feel like working out? Tough luck. Your body still needs it. You don't feel like working on your goals? Well, guess what? Life doesn't care about your feels. Nobody's handing you success because you felt like it. It's about putting in the work, even when you'd rather be binge watching your favorite show. Action step. The next time you want to skip something important, whether it's a workout or grinding towards your goal, say this to yourself: weak me would quit. Strong me keeps going. It's the small, consistent choices that forge greatness. Emotions are fickle. Your future strength, that's what's built in the trenches of doing what needs to be done, even when you'd rather take a nap. The final battle: killing the fear of change. If you fear change, you fear growth. It's like saying, I want to get stronger while avoiding the gym. You're not going to magically get muscles by watching workout videos from your couch. You have to get uncomfortable and pick up the weight. Psychologists say that we resist change because the brain sees the unknown as a threat. But here's the thing. Everything amazing in life exists beyond that fear. Things are a lot harder and scarier in your head than they are in reality. Let's take a page from Thorfinn's story. This guy was all about violence. Revenge was his whole identity. So when he had to let go of that and embrace peace instead, he was terrified. Who was he without his sword? What would he be if he wasn't the guy seeking revenge every second? But he did it anyway. And guess what? He became even stronger. Stronger not just physically, but mentally. Now, let's talk about you. Maybe you're scared to leave that toxic job or that dead-end relationship or that outdated version of yourself. I get it. Change feels like walking into a dark room, not knowing what's in there. But here's the secret. The fear is fake. What's real is the opportunity waiting for you on the other side of fear. You can't grow if you stay locked in the same place. Action step. Do something today that scares you, no matter how small. It could be having a tough conversation or taking that first step towards something you've been avoiding. Change is waiting for you on the other side of fear. We've covered the crucial steps. Now, let's wrap this up with the final truth. Killing your weak self isn't just a one-time thing. It's a daily battle. Burn away what holds you back, your excuses, bad habits, and fear, and rise again from the ashes. Stronger, wiser, unbreakable. Now go and let the battle begin.